This is why you should never watch Thomas and Friends, The Great Discovery DVD. Wait, no, videotape, okay? Videotapes are more scarier. How could a piece of plastic and pictures and a voice box be scary? Well, let me explain. My name is Andy. Truly, my real name is Naeem, but look, I'm just a narrator. I'm just telling you what happened in the story. I'm just a storyteller trying to make it all scary. You know all that. But yeah, my name is Andy. And I'm 17. I like to babysit. Even I decided to babysit my friend's daughters. We decided to watch a movie. So I went to the movie rack and then I decided to pick out a movie. And then once I come back, it was a Thomas and Friends Great Discovery videotape. The girls were, I don't know how to describe it, but scared looking. It looked like they just found out they were releasing Rise of Skywalker a month early, but they were canceling it after. But one of the twins said, if we watch it, then he'll come and get us. And I looked confused, so we decided to just watch Rise of Skywalker. But I was confused. Why were they so scared of Thomas? Probably because of the ugly, creepy faces. The new reboot's better. But that got me wondering, what's so wrong with this? So I decided to take the tape home and watch it on my PC. The movie played. Also, I'm a big fan of trains, so I'm not a hater, just to be clarified. But as I was saying, the movie started off normal, like always. And I saw Thomas splashing through the river, and I was like, I've seen The Great Discovery before, but I was like, what's wrong with it? I don't see anything. Thomas was swimming in the river like usual. I've seen The Great Discovery before, but something was a bit off. He crashed into it, but something seemed a little off. Thomas was thinking. He sunk into the water, and I was like, oh dear. That doesn't seem right. I don't remember having this. My bad, I mispronounced it. I don't remember this happening into The Great Discovery when I watched this when I was a kid back in 2000. And then it cuts to all the engines. They looked happy at first, but then they grew worried and sad. And then later on, the search, and then the little thing that goes like, where is Thomas, grew up. And then I was like, oh boy, here we go. It was normal as usual, but this time, it was Stanley's part. And I knew a part Thomas would be there, but when I saw it, it cut back to the same mine, but Thomas wasn't there this time. I already knew he already sunk, and it looked so glitchy, and it looked like it was staticky, whatever. And then once Stanley blew his whistle, a giant boulder fell on him. And then it was like a loud thud. It was so loud that I thought I heard something in my kitchen. Percy saw the whole thing happening to Stanley. So he backed up because the boulder was rolling towards to him. And then the giant boulder crashed into Great Waterton. The building began to shake and smash! It was so loud that I think I heard it coming from my neighbors. And then it says, missing Thomas. Thomas missing engine, crushed to death, and tower collapsing. But it's actually wrong. Stanley was crushed, not Thomas, but he drowned. Something didn't add up. And plus, it says something right here. Great Waterton, whatever falls, Sir Topham Hatt gets to blame. And I was like, what the heck? And then the video cut to black with a loud thud. And I could hear the credits and the music of Thomas and his friends, but Instead of going forward, it was played in reverse, and all I could just see was just black instead of saying the whole thing. And I was like, what the heck? I don't remember this happening in The Great Discovery. I thought this was Great Discovery, not Bad Discovery. But when I tried to look to grab the videotape, something was really off. Instead of looking like this, instead it looked like this. Thomas's faceplate was closed, and I thought it went on waterlock. And I saw Stanley's had an ugly white color, and even his faceplate was also closed, and he was on fire. And then the title was in the wrong direction, forward, behind, or whatever. The next day, I went out to go to the park to get some fresh air and take my mind off of this great discovery. But I saw something behind the garbage dump. So I walked towards it, and then I saw something that made my jaw drop. It was this thing. The shape was too familiar. It looked exactly like Thomas. And I was like, no. This engine is different. Like, instead, it was all scratched up, but I saw some blue on it. And when I put my hands to see if there was anything inside it, I heard a splish and a splosh, and it came from the firebox. And I think it was soap. That's what happened to Thomas. Thomas is an E2 locomotive, and this is an E2 locomotive. A few weeks later, I went to go on vacation. I kept on wondering about this engine on the airplane. When I arrived to my hotel, it was all just blue. But the other rooms that I went in there was white. And once I get back to the room that I was just in, it was white also. I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. So then I decided to go for another walk. But then when I saw this, it looked like a steam engine. It was a saddle tank engine, but it was on fire. It looked like it was crushed by something. And I was like, what the heck? Could this mean Thomas and Stanley are real? No, this can't be true. And once I got back home, I burned the videotape. And ever since, I never saw Thomas and Friends the same way again. The next day, it was a school day. When I went to grab my English book, I found that all of the pages were ripped out. Except for two. One that had a giant letter S and another one with a giant letter T. I assume it's for Stanley and Thomas. That's why you should never see Thomas and Friends, The Great Discovery. Again, this is just a story. It's not true and all that. It's just based off a story that somebody else told me. But I hope you like this. But turns out this was actually meant to be on October. I was a little late to upload it because I had to trick or treat and go to bed afterwards. Because I was really tired. But happy late Halloween, everybody.